bounce, pass. Sports. Pass, kick, pass. Dunk it.
What?
Funk it. Sure. Serve it. Here. Work it. Jocular. We're about to get jocular.
Welcome to Jocular!
The show where three best buds gossip about women's sports.
That's the truth.
That's the truth. Hoes.
Before.
Bros.
Bros.
And bros.
Before.
Into the ground.
There we go.
Bros.
Into the ground.
Hoes before bros and bros into the ground. I'm ER Fight Master, they, them.
Deandra, she, her.
Katie Gershaw, she, her.
I want to get that fucking tattooed.
I mean, bros into the ground.
Hoes before bros. Bros into the ground.
Bro. You really fucking
I feel like I was on After Midnight, and it was just like a game show on CBS, and I made a bunch of jokes about men, obviously, and one of the comments that I love the most was, "We get it, TN, you hate men."
We get it.
And I'm like, good, my brand is coming through.
But like, why even comment?
Why even comment?
If you get it, then shut up.
Then shut up.
Yeah. It sounds like you just got it.
Yeah.
And that's why you comment. I
get it.
So bros into the
TN
ground.
hates men.
So bros into the ground.
Okay, well, today... Wait. Did you guys see that Julia Fox, when she's on the lie detector?
No.
Julia Fox is on the lie detector, and she is asked in this interview, do you hate men? And she goes, I think that there's a lot of good men, and the lie detector test is like, we're going to need a yes or no. And she goes, no. And he goes, deception.
And you're one of the men I hate.
Yeah, and now we hate you, sir. Today we are talking about the fundamentals of lacrosse with a special guest we're all kind of fangirling over.
Yes.
Women's Lacrosse League star goalie, Madison Ducet. She plays for the New York Charging, one of 4 WLL teams who just wrapped their inaugural season.
Okay,
That's so
cool
exciting.
as hell.
How many inaugural seasons we have in women's sports right now is crazy to me, too. That, like, we're all just like, it's the first time. It's amazing. It's exciting. Long overdue.
Yes.
And I just can't wait to talk to her.
Yes, we have that. We have Love Volleyball. Isn't that an inaugural season? Well, PWHL's in a second, but no,
They're all young.
Yeah, they're all really young. It reminds me of like growing up when we would go to like the Chinese food buffet by us, and the grand opening sign was on like for 4 years.
Never takes it down.
And why would you?
Why would you?
Why?
Who decides how long an opening is?
I think
God.
Yeah, God. And God did not smite that sign.
When he could have.
Yeah.
When he
Oh
could
no.
have.
well, he, trans man,
When yes,
They.
he/they.
the whole community calling God a she, and I'm like, okay, but he transitioned a while ago.
Quite a while. Harry, is this good and
Jesus.
on topic?
Do you think the room is gonna get hit
Yes.
by lightning?
Well, here's the thing.
It's
We don't have
insulated.
good service in here, so I don't think it could hit.
Okay,
You know
you're
what?
right.
If God was listening, I think God would be a Patreon subscriber.
a premium Patreon.
Well, maybe
subscriber.
we need to change the name of the tiers to God tier.
Oh, and there is only one.
I love that so
Or
much.
as many that want to pay that amount.
Yeah, no, I love that.
No, I love that too. I love that too.
Charlie and I were talking about adding a financial domination category to the jocular. So like we'll charge you so much money if that's what you're into.
Whoa.
And you can just pay it.
Oh.
If anyone's interested in that,
Cash
let
daddy
me
dom?
know. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking for, I am currently looking for a cash daddy dom.
Also,
Yeah.
if any of
We-
you
we all
freaks
are.
like feet pics, we'll just upload those too. It's just be us in our little Birkenstocks.
Oh my god. Yeah, actually. Yeah, we can have some clog close-ups.
Yeah, if you,
Who in our bracket was named Kershaw Clogs?
whoa.
Reveal yourself.
Reveal yourself, because it's not me.
It's not me.
Who are you?
What if it was me?
What?
Is it?
No, it was not me.
Okay,
no,
fair,
I
fair.
was queer. I was #1 queer, but it was queer ER. It was like QUEE.R.
Oh, I love that.
Okay, that's
Thank you.
fun.
Yeah.
I'm just Katie's number one.
No, that's good.
I was Hank's picks originally, but then I changed it to make myself more known. So Tien's picks.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
That's
I
a lot
feel
of people don't know your real name.
Hank.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
You look like a Hank.
I think I do.
My cousin Hank is a like a wispy blonde haired
Asian
big
woman?
6'4" Asian woman.
Wispy blonde hair, 6'4".
Big.
Yeah. Yeah. Like he's a fisherman and he like Alabama grad who
Oh.
works in Georgia, and you guys are fucking identical.
I think we're twins.
Yeah.
Okay, what's hopping in the group chat? I think we haven't talked about the saddest March Madness news.
Oh my god. You guys, I screamed in my kitchen, and my partner thought that something really bad had happened, and I was like, it did.
It did.
I watched it over and over again going, it doesn't look that bad.
Oh.
It doesn't look that bad.
If
Everything's going to be okay.
If you're wondering what we're talking about, just in case you like happen to stay off the internet this week, JuJu Watkins suffered a terrible knee injury, was writhing in pain on the court.
Yeah.
And it was not versus like a super competitive team, which bums me out. Oh my god, it bums me out.
And I will say it did look like it looked like non-contact. It looked
know.
like a fully like my wife and I.
Thank you.
That really comes in hard when we're talking about something serious.
But I love it. It just shows how much integrity you
No,
have.
I know.
Well,
I'm
I
sticking
can
to
say
it.
we know Juju's listening right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And that made her smile.
Well, unless you found out that you had a wife.
that's true.
Yeah.
Sorry. But we were both like, because my wife has torn her ACL, and we were watching, and we really were like, oh, that doesn't look good. Like it looked like her knee buckled. Like it
right
was
away.
Yeah, you know right away because it was like a non-contact knee buckling, and also JuJu is so measured emotionally.
Yes.
Like completely in every game, even when she's like absolutely crushing people, she doesn't show that much emotion, and I think the amount of emotion that she showed in that moment, I think it made everyone be like, oh fuck.
There's a weird thing that I think what obviously it's painful, but I think when you get a knee injury, there is this thing in your brain where knee injuries sometimes feel like an immediate absence of something. Where like, you know, whether it's like a torn ligament or your kneecap is moved to a different location or whatever the hell it is, there you can feel immediately like the terror of something missing in this vital part of your being.
Yeah.
And that was what freaked me out, is I was like, if she was hurt, she would grit her teeth, because we've seen her like fall and it hurt before.
Yep.
She's freaked out.
It was like a cry that was like she knew.
Yes.
Yeah.
Devastating. Oh my god, I have chills.
And also like the
thinking about it.
face, I like woke up heartsick the next day because she's like she's the face of basketball.
Yes.
She really is.
She really is. She's a
And
star.
USC can't do
I
it
don't think they can.
without her.
No, and I don't know if it was Holly Rowe or Lobo, but that was saying like there is nobody more important to their
Yes,
team.
Lobo. I saw that.
And I think Caitlin Clark was the same way. If Caitlin had suffered that injury,
Yep.
Iowa would not have been a part of the discussion, even though they have solid players. JuJu is a star and the psychological glue.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I mean the rest of the USC team is obviously no joke.
Of course.
it's
They're
a
so good.
phenomenal team. But her position in the team and how they've really played and trained around her being this lock, this key, just means that you remove that piece.
Yeah.
I wish, and I like never want to judge obviously such a gifted and talented and hardworking coach.
Yeah, she's amazing.
I always have questions when we're this early in the tournament about the way that we play our stars. And, you know, I remember the NBA was having conversations like this because they're playing, you know, their 70 plus games, whatever, 50 plus games. And they're playing LeBron in all of them. And then when LeBron started to sit, the fans would get mad, right? They're like, we're coming for LeBron.
Yeah.
And these teams were like, yeah, and he also cost us $100 million and we don't need him to play the Pacers.
Right.
And I kind of wonder when we have these teams, because they still won. They still won by a large margin. if we need JuJu on the court in that way. Like this would be a great time to
interesting.
really bulletproof, your second string.
I mean, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was just thinking we going in and seeing and being so lucky to sit so close to UCLA and to see Coach Corey work. I mean, she rotates so
Yeah, she
much
rotates.
that
It's
I felt
awesome.
I felt like Kiki was very protected. I
Yes.
felt like Barker was very protected.
Mm.
That rotation really, I think, helps that mix because you're getting people up, you're getting them playing.
You're keeping them out of foul trouble.
Yeah.
You're
you
allowing-
are, and injury trouble.
You're allowing people to play more dynamically because they're playing in short bursts.
Right.
So even when Barker would go in and, what an unbelievable player to watch, like up close, but Barker would go in and pick up a foul and then just come out. And even though Barker was such a great rebounder, was like obviously so dynamic for her team, we once she gets a foul, we're gonna give her a break. But
I think that's the different builds of the two teams.
that's
It
the
is.
thing. That's
It
the
definitely
problem with building around a
One
star.
star.
I
Yeah.
think like even like the Bulls and Derrick Rose.
Oh my God, it reminded me of Derrick Rose.
Yes, like
Yeah.
Derrick Rose was like, and still I think has his jersey in the rafters, even though like had such a troubled career. And I love talking about Derrick because he's such a sweetie and everybody loves him. And Derrick was injured all the fucking
Yeah,
times,
he
and
was.
the Bulls had built their franchise around
Yeah.
Derrick.
Yep.
And so the Bulls, while they had Derrick Rose, who was arguably one of the best players in the league, never could succeed.
I know. Well, I think the other thing too with like player load management is also just like in this news coming out, there were a lot of people sharing stats that like the majority of ACL injuries happen to female athletes, and there's only like 3% of research.
Yes, I
Like
think-
like 3% of like the ACL sort of injury research is focused on women, which is insane. It's like you're like, okay, so we already know that female athletes have are truly like their knees are more prone to
Yes.
ACL injuries, and we're not putting any like investment or research into figuring out why or trying to help them. So like that's another part of it too. Like just like the sports industry needs to like catch up with like how hard and how wonderful and amazing and talented these athletes are and helping to protect their bodies.
Well, and I think you can look at on average when you're looking at like even like just the way that a lot of women's bodies are versus a lot of male bodies. Men are wider at the top and then they get smaller at the bottom. They've got broader shoulders than their hips.
Yep.
And so women a lot of times, and this is not for everybody, this is not across human beings, but women a lot of times carry their most powerful part of their body is their legs. And so it doesn't make any sense why we wouldn't be studying the human beings that carry most of their power in their legs when we're studying knees.
And like when your knee, like also like just female athletes, like our ligaments are looser already. It's like just like from like hormones, and like so it makes your knees prone to like stretching in different ways. It's just like
I'd love to see like what our chemicals like happen to people who get their periods.
yes,
Like how does that change? Like,
it must.
It has to.
It has to.
I wonder if you are at increased risk of injury when you're on your period.
When I'm on my period, I get terrible styes.
That sucks.
I'm realizing has nothing to do with ACL injuries, but
No,
I've got to the point now where night before my period, I cannot sleep. It's just like I have PMDD. I've got a lot of other things around my period, but that night before, I won't sleep. I just can't do it. And I know it's coming, and it is hell. And the fact that I called in this week one day because I was like, there's no way I can work. And I've had zero sleep, and I have cramps like nobody's business.
there's just not enough research.
Zero.
I'm going to an endo specialist in 2 weeks.
Oh my God, that's so
Okay,
exciting.
that's really exciting.
I'm really excited.
Congrats.
Took a while to get in.
Congrats.
Yeah, it should not take that long, but
She's going to do a big old scan and everything.
see where it is.
Yeah, see if she's got to take out any little fibroids or whatever the fuck they're called.
Oh yeah,
It's going to be awesome.
I'm really, really happy for you.
I know. I'm excited.
Thanks,
for you.
guys. Thank you.
All that to say is that JuJu is an amazing star, and like this March Madness is going to be completely different now.
My bracket is destroyed. My bracket
most
is
people's-
done. So unless USC does that thing where
They rally behind a
yes. They all of them get better because they rally behind a cause. And the way that I will make this like beautiful in my brain is if they can rally behind a cause, then next year when we see USC, all of them will be better for the time that they spent rallying behind the cause and recognizing that they could be good without JuJu on the court. It will make them even better when JuJu's on the court.
Agreed.
Yes. But right now, I got them beating UConn, and I just am unsure. Well, by the time this comes out, we'll know.
I don't have them beating UConn.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah, I'm not saying it was a great idea.
Do you want to do 2 takes, one if they do and one if they don't, and then I'll put in whichever one
Okay.
happens?
No.
Okay. We'll be right back after a break.
Get jocular.
Great. Okay, today we have an incredible special guest, a current lacrosse goalie for the New York Charging, the first professional goalie to make 20+ saves in sixes lacrosse. That's amazing.
There's 3 disciplines of lacrosse.
Okay,
Indeed.
wow. Okay,
Okay,
so in
we're
sixes,
about to get
we're about to get
into
into
it.
it. A 2-time world champion, a World Games silver medalist, and the first player to represent Team USA in all 3 disciplines of lacrosse. Please give a warm welcome to Madison Ducet. Ducet. Madison.
Thank you guys for having me. The song is beautiful.
Thank you.
Thanks. We try to be mainly singing and a little bit of sports.
Do you okay?
Oh, I heard.
You're an athlete, and I feel like athletes always have fun nicknames. Do you have a fun nickname?
Deuce tends to be the predominant one. At Northwestern, Deuce Save stuck, and then that came to Hopkins. So it's a nice little play on words. I see what they did there.
That's a good one. And what are your pronouns before we get ripping?
Yes.
She, her.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay.
okay.
Wait, what are the 3 disciplines?
Yeah, I didn't even
Let's start
know
there.
that lacrosse had different disciplines.
I thought it was the discipline.
Yeah,
of
I thought it was the
lacrosse.
one.
Yeah, so there's like the traditional field lacrosse. That's what most people know. When there's, for women's, roughly 12 players on the field. For international, it changes a little bit. There's also box lacrosse, which is more like hockey. You see people running around in a rink, hitting each other much more aggressively. And then there's sixes, which is 5-on-5 with the goalie, a shorter field, and that's what will be in the 2028 Olympics.
Whoa.
Oh, cool.
Where you will
Wait,
be
are
as
you?
well.
Yes, right.
Fingers crossed.
That's so exciting.
So tell us, how did you? Because when we were reading, you were a 3-sport athlete. Which were the 3 sports?
Mostly 2 as I got to high school. So I played ice hockey. Actually, I almost played that in college and lacrosse.
Wow.
But growing up, I played everything. Softball was probably that 3rd that was in the mix.
Okay, and
You're
so
like tough as nails, huh?
yes.
I've been hit with a lot of things, people and lacrosse balls.
Incredible. How did you end up like on lacrosse? Like
Yeah.
what brought you to lacrosse?
I grew up in Kansas City, which is not the place people normally grow up playing lacrosse. And it
know.
just started expanding, and a lot of hockey players were getting into it. And so I tried it, and I was super bummed out to find out that men's lacrosse got to wear pads, and girls, I had a little funny goggles I put on. But I started playing in Kansas City when I was in 5th grade, and then I liked it, and it's worked out pretty well thus far.
Amazing.
I am fascinated by the way that lacrosse does seem so seriously gendered, like
Yeah.
the even down to the skirts versus the pads. A specific question I have for you is it still a rule where like only male defenders get to have the super long sticks?
Yeah, so those actually only exist though in the field discipline of lacrosse. So in box lacrosse, there's no long poles, and in sixes, there's no long poles, which makes the games a lot more similar. And if you look at box lacrosse for women and men, it's literally the same sport. Same levels of contact, same levels of literal fighting and dropping the gloves. It's consistent there.
Whoa.
Dropping the gloves.
gloves.
Are we getting into fist fights in box lacrosse?
I do joke that I fought my way onto Team USA. I was the last goalie to make the cut for the box team, and I do think it was a direct factor of a man crease dove and jumped into me, and I didn't really hesitate, and I just started swinging.
Yeah.
And shout out to my teammate Riley Ewing, who also jumped in there. So then it was 2-on-1.
Wow.
But we did win that game, win that shootout. It was pretty solid.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
That makes me feel thrilled.
I love that violence is rewarded.
I
Because
do
I
feel
would
that.
think like, oh, I made
Box in
it on.
particular.
Yeah, made it on Team USA because I never dropped my gloves and I stayed on ice. Nice young woman.
Fighting is honorable, and we don't talk about that enough.
Thank you.
Okay, so you spent some time in Athletes Unlimited.
I did.
Okay, and what was that like? You were one of 16 players selected in the 2024 AAU Pro Lacrosse College Draft. What was your time like in AAU?
It was a blast. I mean, you put 56 lacrosse players in a hotel for 5 weeks. It's nothing but trouble, nothing but fun. So we got to live that pro athlete lifestyle for 5 weeks, just getting up, going to practice, going to lift, playing games on the weekends. Can't say enough about it. Sad it's not continuing, but it was really fun while it lasted.
Yeah, I
That
mean, it
sounded like-
sounds horny.
I mean, it does sound
Yeah.
really horny. The way you opened that, I was like, this is like a Netflix reality TV show that I would watch.
I would watch.
Definitely adjacent. Probably could produce some insane media content.
Does anybody? You don't have to say names, but does anybody be dating?
People be dating.
People be dating. That's the name of the show. People be dating.
Yeah,
Tell
previous
us-
years were a little worse, but last year was everyone kept it clean.
Okay, fair.
Tell us about so the WLL. This is the inaugural season. Tell us, how did it feel? How are you feeling about the inaugural season? What were like some of your favorite things, and what could they maybe like improve upon in season 2?
I mean, it was amazing. It was just a little 2-week championship series. We played a round robin and then into playoffs, and the resources we got were crazy. I mean, we had 98 athletes between men's and women's, and they had over 100 staff members. So we were taken care of. The resources were amazing, and then the fan engagement was through the roof. Like it took over an hour and a half to get out of there every day because we were signing autographs and just engaging, doing friendship bracelet exchanges. So it was an absolute blast.
There's so much hunger. I love that. People really want to. Okay, I want to hear about your time on Team USA.
Please.
Luckily, I've had to get to rock the red, white, and blue a couple times now. So I got to play back in 2019. One of the 2 goalies that we split time, won gold in Peterborough, Ontario, which was sick.
Wow.
Got to represent U.S. as well, and this was next in sixes. 2022 World Games. Unfortunately, Canada got the best of us that time, so I still think about that. But yeah, Birmingham, Alabama. Where else would you rather be in July? Am I right?
Jesus.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then this last September, September 2024, was the first ever box world championship for women. So for men, it's been happening for decades. They launched a women's discipline, and there was a hungry team of us that just decided to commit to learning a full new discipline, toss the pads on. I don't know if you've looked at what box lacrosse goalies look like, but it's hilarious.
Okay,
I would
yeah,
I'm
right now.
searching it right now.
You could Google Michelin Man and you'd probably get the same thing. 50 pounds of gear and just
Oh
getting out.
my God! What the
I
hell on
can't-
earth?
Oh my God.
What the
Yeah.
hell? Why?
Wait a minute.
Given the speed of the shot, I'm happy that they do it, but then you think about the fact that you do the same thing in field and it's no pads, so I'm not really sure the juxtaposition there.
So
Wow.
that is also psychotic.
Yeah, can you talk to
A
us
bit.
about how do you get into the mindset of stopping that tiny little bullet of a ball?
It's a bullet.
That
It's
fucking
truly a
hurts.
bullet.
It hurts, as you know. But like even holding one, I'm like, ow, ow, ow.
Yeah. Too hard to hold.
Yeah.
Everyone rolls out with one. Yeah. I mean, we kind of joke that it hurts more to get scored on than it does to get hit. Just a mentality shift.
Oh wow.
We can mic drop to that. We can do whatever, but it's true. And also adrenaline kind of takes over. It's not always fun in practice. There's always days that you don't necessarily want to take that off the shin. But when it comes to winning and just letting your reaction take over, you kind of forget about it. And then you regret it heavily after the game. But then you keep coming back. So it's fine.
We've had a goalie on this show before. We've had a hockey goalie. Shout out to CJ. And y'all when I watch you guys in the game, psycho energy.
Yeah,
like
truly.
in such a giving way. Like you're just so like your body's on the line, all the shit. And then whenever I talk to a goalie, super chill. Like the most calm fucking people on earth. And I have to believe it's because in real life, you're not taking bullets to the chest. So you're like, this is easy. I can do this.
And how did you come
Valid
into
analysis.
that position?
Kind of came on to me. So when I was younger, we were playing in a tournament in Minnesota, and I was a draw taker. I was a midi running up and down the field, like scoring goals, and our goalie was kind of flamingoing, for lack of a better term. Ball would come at her, and she would lift a foot and get out of the way.
Shit.
Oh, we've all played with someone like that.
It's me.
Yeah, we dodged it. That girl actually went on to become a collegiate midfielder, and I became
okay.
a collegiate goalie. So
Okay.
clearly, we just needed to switch.
Yeah.
But I got tossed in the cage, loved it, and then went back to midfield. And then when I moved to Pennsylvania right before high school, I introduced myself to the varsity coach. I said, I'm Madison Doucette. I'm a freshman. I play midfield and goalie. And she looked at me like I was a psycho and said, okay, put your gear on. And then told me to throw away my field stick. And I owe Lisa Aikman for a lot of my goaltending career.
Lisa.
Thank you,
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you,
That's
Lisa.
the best.
What do you wear? What are you wearing as like a field lacrosse goalie? Like, do you have any? We don't know. Like, I don't know anything about lacrosse.
Treat us like babies.
Treat us like babies. Like, what do you wear?
At the younger levels, protection is required, but at the older levels, it's a chest pad, glove, and helmet. That's it.
What?
Yeah, so legs are kind of free to get destroyed. The bruises are memorable, to say the least. I wear a hex pad on my one knee because I bang it on the ground, accidentally doing the splits frequently. But that's about it.
Why don't you wear
I
more
am-
pads?
Why is like a
Like-
padding required and then they're like, take it or leave it?
Why don't you have shin guards?
Yeah. Or would you want it? Or are you like, no, that's not part of the game?
We wore them in high school, and if you see goalies in sweatpants, sometimes make them under. There's a bit of an ego to it. I really don't care. I just think realistically, a lot of the shin guards just take away a little sting, but you bruise just as much.
Oh, that's
So it doesn't really do enough to help. And if I wore ice hockey skater shin guards, it just would be bulky, and I probably couldn't run out of the cage.
Are you
Gotcha.
like the hockey equivalent for me is like the argument of, when they're like full cage versus like no cage, and guys are like, you'll never catch me in a cage. But they don't have any teeth. Are you one of those guys?
I do have my teeth. I think that's
You have
You
that's
do have
huge.
your
Beautiful teeth,
yeah,
by
yeah.
the way. They look great. Yeah, anytime.
I do have probably some nerve damage in my shin, so I guess it balances out. I might be that guy.
Jeez, little Pete.
Yeah, but you don't need to feel your shit.
What's the
you know?
hardest?
Yeah.
What's the hardest hit you've ever taken? Have you ever taken a hit that like fucked you up?
Right before our first game at the championship series, my teammate Emily Harris-Chuck, who went on to win the Golden Stick, she scored the most goals of anybody.
Wow.
She was the captain of Team USA for box, got me right in the collarbone. And there was some concern that I would need an x-ray for a minute there. We were quite nervous. Luckily, they padded it up and I was fine and I didn't end up with a broken collarbone. But that was one of the more scared I've been recently. That one stung.
I think don't be worried about getting an x-ray. Just get one, I'd say. And there's everyone like, should I not? Let's just go ahead and do it. I know.
I just want to say for anyone
I
in
had
our
a feeling in my
audience,
hand. They weren't too worried.
for anyone in our audience that doesn't know what a lacrosse ball is like, it's kind of like a baseball, but it somehow weighs 400 pounds and it has a nuclear bomb inside of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just kind of picture that. Okay, if
And it moves fast. It moves faster than a base.
like
It's
like a
something-
cannon
like
off a
it's-
Spanish colonial
Yeah,
ship.
it's crazy.
Okay.
I always say that's exactly how I describe it. Bomb and all.
Okay, if you were going to describe lacrosse to children, like like try to get a kid interested in the game, how would you describe it?
I would say hockey in the air. I would start very basically and just say we're moving the ball. I always joke it's very simple. You put the yellow circle in the orange square. But in terms of how you actually move and look at the offenses, it's a lot like basketball. So it's a lot of pass down, pick down. It's a lot of inside slips and rolls and zone defense. So it's a lot of parts of other sports. You're just using a little butterfly net to throw the ball around.
I love that.
I love that.
A little butterfly net?
Wow.
Why am I crying?
Goalies get a
the
verbs
verbs
too.
of the, like butterfly net, box.
Hockey net.
What are the stereotypes about lacrosse? Athletes, the sport itself, like
There's some tough ones. I mean, the sport itself is very like white predominant. It's shifting in a very positive way.
Okay,
but the
cool.
baseline has been a kind of white New England prep school. That narrative again is shifting, but that's kind of the baseline. A lot of high schools joke about people not liking their lacrosse girls because they're mean. I don't think that's the case. And then you get into the gay stereotypes as well, particularly for the goaltenders.
Well,
Well,
Yeah. Look, I'm a woman of the people. I like to confirm things sometimes for everybody.
thank you.
sometimes stereotypes are true.
Yeah. God bless.
And to have a basis, and a lot of us lean into that as goalies.
Yes, and you should. And you should.
You guys,
Yeah, I like that one. But it's interesting. Okay, so when you say that it is moving away from that sort of like New England, like white dude stereotype, is lacrosse becoming more diverse? And like, how do you feel like that's happening? And like, are programs opening up for, people to get into the sport more easily?
I would say so. I actually spent 2 summers coaching out west in Idaho, Montana, Utah, traveling around in a van with a bunch of lacrosse players. And just seeing the growth of the game geographically out west was awesome. And then you also add the areas that are more underserved. So Harlem lacrosse, Bronx lacrosse, Owls lacrosse are all focused on getting lacrosse more central in urban areas, adding it to high schools and just getting those avenues. And then I think it's also the onus of college coaches to recruit with more diverse practices. Like, they are the gatekeepers that really can grow the game. And looking where you might not want to, and seeing maybe raw talent that hasn't had the coaching yet, that's going to continue to just shift the game as it continues to do so domestically, and then globally. There's been a ton of growth.
oh, I love hearing
That
that.
is so cool. What program were you a part of that you were driving around in a van to different places?
Treasure State Lacrosse. It's pretty much the perfect job for a summer lax rat to just fly out to Montana and then travel in a van to Utah, Idaho, Colorado, Washington State, Oregon. You work like 3 to 5 days a week, and the other days you screw around and explore and hike and climb and fish. It's awesome.
Like a classic lax rat.
Lax
Literally.
rat.
I love lax rat. That's so good.
Okay, so what are some of like the key rules of the sport? So I used to, this is a secret about me, is that I used to call games for my high school girlfriend. She was the goalie in lacrosse, but they would have me come up there because I didn't know anything. And so I was literally over the
That's
loudspeaker.
why they called you up there?
They thought it was so funny. They
were doing a bit.
They had me
Okay.
on the broadcast, and I was just saying shit, like just kind of guessing. But there are
I
all of these.
swear.
There are all of these lines on the field. Do you get different amounts of points for scoring from like behind a certain line? Is it
So
like the
no.
3-point line?
Not yet. So in field, there's the 8 meter and the 12 meter. Basically, if you're in that big fan shape, the 8 meter, and you get fouled, you get a free shot. It's not as extreme as a PK where you're expected to score every time, but you do get to set up on a hash. Ref blows the whistle. You kind of have your run in at the goalie. Defenders can stop you, but that's what the 8 and the 12 are for, is what they call
Okay.
those. In sixes lacrosse, at least in the WLL PLL format, they do have a 2-point line in the men's game, and they're considering adding it to the women's game, which I think could be super fun. I mean, when you have someone like Charlotte North, Izzy Skane, Emily Harris-Shuck shooting 90 miles per hour at will, might as well let them take it from further out. I will feel safe.
Yeah.
Wow.
Give the women's game a 2-point line.
I mean, please.
Are the outfits getting cooler?
Absolutely.
Cool.
Absolutely. I think our uniforms have gotten better, and it's kind of preference-based, skirt or shorts. AU actually did a really cool thing where they let athletes pick if they wanted skirt or shorts.
Okay, I like that.
Good.
Yeah, because some college teams love the tradition and will always wear skirts, and some are a little bit more modern and switch to shorts. I always played on a shorts team, and then people out in some other areas only wear skirts. So
Do you think it's?
we're modernizing.
Do you think that's a little queer tell?
I also think it's a tell of, if I was in a skirt and a goalie, the world would see too much. I end up in some crazy positions. I don't consent to that. The broadcast team doesn't either. So definitely a tell that I gravitated towards the goalie in the shorts.
Yes.
And then it's a nice little bonus that I don't have to put on a little mini skirt to play.
Wait,
Yeah.
did the goalies never have to wear skirts? Is that what you're telling us?
I have not seen a goalie wear a skirt
Oh.
unless it's like a really not good high school. No offense to them. They're
Okay.
like, they don't have an option, and they're putting it over their thigh pads. It's not looking good.
That makes sense.
Which look do you think
why
is
would
hotter?
you-
Hotter?
Yeah.
This is. I feel like skirts might be hotter, but maybe that's like internalizing the male gaze. Like, is that problematic of me to say?
No, because we have
skirts
a
are
queer
hot.
we have a queer gaze too.
Skirts
you know?
are hot.
Skirts are
We're
hot.
looking.
Yeah, Googling right now.
I was gonna say, a lot of teams lean into the white skirts. If you guys get bored later, just
The white skirts.
White skirts?
Damn.
It
I
sounds
know.
like you're gonna be bored later.
I'm bored right now. Baby.
every U.S. lacrosse team white skirts. So go hit on all my friends.
Okay, look.
Whoa.
That
And you
is-
gave us permission, so
Okay.
okay.
I'm looking
I
it up right now.
did.
US lacrosse.
They can gatekeep from there, but I'll open the door. They can slam it back shut. But here's your intro.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay, and so what is one thing that like you want people to take away from like what would you if you're like, okay, you have to watch X, like this is the most exciting time. Like, is there an event coming up that we should like really tune into that we can tell the jock straps to watch?
Yeah.
I mean, we're getting into playoff lacrosse. We've got a little bit left before we get into conference tournaments for college. So that's always exciting. Anytime you're playing for your university, people care a little more. But further out, we got to wait a little bit, but we'll have some U.S. camps coming up in the summer. And then in July 4th weekend, All-Star weekend, will be the next event for the WLL. So we'll go back to that Champ Series format, sixes, super fast pace, super high intensity, and put that pro product back on the field.
What's something that you wish
Love
people
that.
knew about lacrosse?
Think how fast it is. I think people see the women's game and they see, oh, goggles, no pads, what are you doing? And the speed of the game is insane. You're running it full pace soccer, north-south, adding in the technicality and the footwork of in-tight basketball. It's just a very complex game, and it's super fun to watch, especially in the sixes format. So I think people were pretty pleasantly surprised tuning into the championship series, and I heard from many, many people that they preferred the women's product to the men's product. The men's product was super cool to hear.
Always prefer
Always
the
prefer.
women's product.
100%.
I think the bias might be present in this room, but I do agree.
I don't think any bias.
No,
is
no, no.
No,
We're
I
fair.
don't think so.
We are fair.
Fair and balanced, without a doubt.
Okay, we have one question that we ask every single
Yes.
one
It's
of our guests.
so important.
And we would like to know, who would you like to be power slapped by? Now, power slapping, if you're, or you already have thought about this.
I will admit I am a listener, so I did.
Okay.
I did.
Thank
think
you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
like
For your
pretend
honesty.
that I'm bored about the answer.
Right,
But
right.
I fully consent to a power slap from Zoe Boyd of the Ottawa Charge.
Whoa! Oh my
Um,
God.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, Zoe Boyd. I'm looking.
Zoe
You might be
Boyd.
familiar with her TikTok work and her insane fit checks.
Oh, yeah.
Yo.
Yo, get
Oh, wait, let me see.
slapped.
Oh my God.
Yo.
Cross
Yeah,
sport
she can go
slap.
on.
Wow.
Honestly, both cheeks, either side.
Do
Take a
you
pick.
want her to hear this?
If she would like to hear it, I would love nothing.
Oh my God, Zoe Boyd, what's
Zoe Boyd,
up?
hi.
Yeah,
Boyd,
bro.
hi.
Okay,
At
that would
Zoe
fucking
Boyd.
hurt.
Yeah.
This,
Yeah, she's got arms. That would hurt.
yeah,
Yeah,
dog.
she
She
does.
is strong.
Okay,
looking.
what a pick.
Wow.
What a babe.
Honestly,
Also-
you're the first one that's picked an athlete.
Yeah.
So it's so obvious. To
It's so
And I
obvious.
think that should have been a higher on priority chart here.
I know.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
are we doing?
The Ottawa jerseys are so cool. Also,
I know.
we're right now, just so you know, we're zooming in on photos of Zoe.
Zoe
Boyd.
Boyd.
Look at that deltoid.
No, it's incredible.
Okay,
You
actually,
picked a perfect person to
I
slap
want her
you.
to
really
break my
did.
fucking nose.
Please.
I also think Ottawa Charge, New York Charging. It sounds like there's something in the air.
I think that would be so
It
cute.
should be a couple.
It should be.
The
Charge to
media
charging.
content, it writes itself.
Is there any hope? Is there any hope for a slap?
We're gonna make this happen.
Okay, what can we do?
Can we
At
contact her?
Zoe Boyd.
At Zoe Boyd, we're gonna manifest this.
Friend of
This-
the pod, Madison Ducet, would like you to slap, quote, both cheeks.
No context necessary. No one will
No.
be suspicious.
Nope. Nope.
Oh
nope.
my
nope. I think she'll
God.
get it.
That's
Well,
so
thank you
hot.
so much. This has been awesome, Madison.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Yeah,
we appreciate
you're
you
the best.
listening. It's like such an honor that any serious athlete listens to our pod. We feel really touched by that, and we wish you all the best. You've truly in
made-
this short time you were so easy to talk to. I'm so
Yes.
glad that
You've made
lacrosse.
3 new fans. Like
Yes.
we're obsessed.
And I hope to see you in LA in 2028.
I'm glad the
Thank
sport
you.
has you as an advocate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get jocular.
Welcome back.
Guys, it is 9:30 in the morning. We are rocking and rolling.
Yeah, the cappuccino has hit and I'm crazy.
We're kind of finding out that we're morning people. I love this for us.
Rocking.
And rolling.
Rocking and rolling.
Yes. I'm
You all
ready.
remember that video?
Rocking.
I'll show it later.
Okay.
Okay, I don't remember. Okay, we're here. We're back for our one of our favorite games.
Yeah, I love it.
It's called Kiss, Whisper, Scream.
Let's do that a little bit different.
Okay.
Kiss should be horny, whispers
Oh,
a
that's
whisper,
right,
and
that's
screams
right.
a scream.
Okay, ready? Kiss, Whisper, Scream.
God, that's good.
That
Yeah.
feels really fun.
I feel like that needs a jingle.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it should.
Yeah.
Okay.
What we're gonna do here is we're just gonna name 3 people, and we're gonna decide who we want to kiss us, a little kiss on the head, who we want to whisper at us, and who we want to scream at us.
Does it have to be a kiss on the head?
Just a little kiss. Okay, fine. It doesn't have to be a kiss on the head.
You get
it can
to
be a
pick
full.
with that.
You get to
You
pick.
get to pick where the kiss
So our
lands.
first group of 3 incredible, highly respected journalists.
Yes, truly icons.
Truly icons.
Uh-huh.
Holly Rowe, Rebecca Lobo, and Elle Duncan from ESPN. Y'all, who are you thinking?
This is really nuanced.
I already know who I want to kiss me.
Go.
Elle Duncan.
Same.
I want her to kiss me.
Yeah, I want to be kissed by Elle Duncan, and I'll say it. I want Lobo to whisper, and I want little bitty Holly Rowe to scream.
I'm gonna take it a
Right?
different
Yeah, it
way.
does, right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it a different way.
Do it.
Holly feels so like I feel like I grew up watching Holly.
Okay.
In a way that she has like this is gonna sound really perverted, but like she's
Oh,
like
good.
Oh, unlike other things.
like hot mother for me. And
Hot mother.
I think if she screamed at me, it would destroy my psyche.
Come
okay.
here, hot mother.
And so I'm gonna have Holly Rowe kiss me on the cheek and tell me good job.
Okay.
I think
you,
that would be
hot
really
mother.
important to me. And then I'm gonna have Rebecca
Thank you, hot
Lobo
mother.
whisper something like, "Come here, kid," and I would cry, daddy. And then I think with Elle Duncan, I would like Elle Duncan to scream at me because I'm used to like pissing off like a beautiful femme, and for some reason, whenever a girlfriend screams at me, I'm like, "You're so beautiful right
Okay,
now."
that is.
Yeah. So
That's something you need to discuss.
You need to discuss. You need to unpack that.
you're hearing a lot of my trauma in those pics.
I agree with Katie. I want Elle Duncan to kiss me because she's hot. Simply, she's hot.
No, Elle Duncan's gonna be screaming at me, calling me an idiot, and
No.
I'm just gonna be smiling. I'll be standing there, and then at
Again?
the end of it, she's gonna be like, "Come here."
Like, again, I don't know.
I think we need to really like sit down the luggage,
Yeah.
unpack.
I would like Rebecca Lobo to whisper to me just because she's so much taller than me, and I think it would be really funny for her to have to get down to my height
What's she saying?
to
you,
whisper to me. I'm not gonna tell you.
Come on, bro. What'd she say?
I'm not gonna tell you.
What did she say?
I'm not gonna tell you. It's a secret
Oh
between
my
me. It's a secret between me and Rebecca Lobo.
Okay.
Pretty much all 3 of these people are hitting on me. Holly Rowe, she's screaming at me just because I'm like in the way, and I would be okay with that.
Oh, I want her like, you stupid cunt, get out of the fucking way.
Yeah.
Charlie, bleep a lot of that. That was crazy.
I want hot mother to yell at me and say profane things, and I will say, I'm so sorry, hot mother. I'll never do it again.
Let's unpack
I think
that
if a hot mother was kind to me, it would undo a lot of damage.
Let's unpack these both. Okay, next up, Coach Corey Close from UCLA, Coach John Staley from South Carolina, and Coach Kim Mulkey from LSU. Kiss, whisper, scream.
I mean, I think having Mulkey scream at you is just canon.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
I
like
agree.
it's like going to Disney. Like, I just want it to happen. I just think it would be good. I think cross it off the list.
And you imagine if she did whisper at you, what she'd be whispering? Like something that she felt like she couldn't say out loud.
Yeah.
It would be a hate crime.
It would be.
It would be. It would be. And I also think that maybe she is like physically unable to whisper. So yeah, it would be like a. It would be a scream. It would be still
a little Voldemort.
A little Voldemort.
Yeah,
a little
yeah,
like.
Yeah.
It would get your chunky ass down.
Oh my
the court and
God.
Make that layup. I think that's what she would say to me. if she whispered it.
If you use those hands for anything other than fingering, maybe you'd catch a ball.
Oh my God. No, she would be like something like that. And it wouldn't make any sense. I feel like she, yeah.
Katie and I obviously said, Katie and I said how she would bully us. Well, how would she bully you?
I feel like she would be like, I'm going to egg roll you down the court.
All
Three fucking dykes. Get down there.
Get down there.
I see 3 dykes, but you know what I don't see? Basketball players.
Yeah, she's screaming at us. She's actually shaking.
I don't see basketball players. Okay. And then I would have, I think
Maybe it would help y'all to understand how balls worked a little better. This is a 10-minute segment.
balls are for balls.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me when I yell at you. You dykes never seen a ball in your life.
Okay, so
Kim's
the
the screamer.
I think I'm gonna kiss Dawn Staley.
I think so too.
Yeah,
That's,
I think this one's a clear one.
And respectfully, I think I'm gonna let her top.
I think so.
I think as soon as you made it respectfully,
Respectfully, I'm gonna go ahead and let you top.
And I would be like, you know how in the past I'm a femme that has insisted that I'm a top? Not today.
Hey.
Shoulder squeeze. Good.
hot mother said, we approve.
We approve. Good.
And Corey Close, I think Corey is so comforting and so kind to her players that if I was having a bad game,
Yeah.
and she just came over and said, you know, I know that you can do better.
I want her to hold me in her bosom
Yep.
and tell me it's okay.
I think she is like full of the type of affirmations that like you really believe in and then can change your life. And I want her to whisper those to me.
I want to call out her leather pants that she wore at that
She
game.
wears
Those were
okay.
nice.
She wears them all the time, and she looks so like isn't she wearing them with like little Nike Air Force Ones?
Yeah.
They look so good.
I
look so good.
I want every coach to be styled from now on.
Yes, I agree.
Yes, we discussed that.
Yeah.
So, like, I want to get, and it's not that they need it.
No,
I'm
it's
just
not that they
saying,
need
let's
it. It's not that they need it.
elevate
There are
by getting a stylist.
Yeah.
There are so many artists that use stylists. I feel like with coaches, it would take one thing off their plate, and you can tell, like with each
Yeah.
coach, you can see a little bit of their style poking through. And I'm like, okay, then that's perfect for a stylist to come in because they're like, I see what you're doing. Now we're gonna make it even better.
With-
Leather pants?
Leather
Let's
pants.
get a bustier.
Yeah.
I want a leather suit jacket. I want a leather suit
It's a
jacket.
leather suit jacket
With
over
a
the bustier.
bustier. Yeah. Oh my god. These
Oh
are
my
heavy
god.
today.
Oh my god.
Let's weigh him after. Patreon exclusive.
Patreon exclusive.
Patreon exclusive. We're gonna
But we're
weigh
gonna
my
wear.
tits.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, just yours.
Because mine, I mean, air. These are so light.
I don't even.
Is that true?
I can't even get at mine.
Then some are less dense than others.
Some are less dense than others.
Mine
Yeah,
are
yeah.
fucking dense. And they might go sometime soon. You know what I'm saying? So we'll weigh them
We should
after
weigh
they're
them.
off.
We'll
Okay.
bring them in. Bring them in.
I've got something to say about that too. We are okay. Anyway,
Okay.
let's move on. Our
Let's move
next
on.
and final 3. We've got Webster, the spider from Richmond.
We're not gonna say anything about that voice that she just did.
No, I didn't hear anything at all.
I don't think I did a voice. Tien, what's
That was
going
so
on?
weird.
That's so
Oh
strange.
no! Don't do this to me today.
What's happening? I didn't do a voice.
No, I can.
9:30 in the being bullied. Like
Being bull.
I've
Oh,
been bullied for.
done it. Okay, okay.
resigned.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Final.
Webster, the spider. John.
These are all mascots.
the
folks.
Yukon
Yes.
Husky and
Josie the Bruin.
I want to get kissed by Josie. Let's just face it.
Yeah.
And I think I want to kill the other two. Is that the game?
I want to be fucking Eiffel Towered by Webster the Spider and John the Yukon Husky.
No.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
I am not fucking around.
The spider.
I go buy for those fuckers.
Oh no.
Webster the Spider has that kind of ugly hot thing that like an Adam Driver does. And then John the Yukon Husky, there's something like some weird jock fantasy that's coming. He's fucking hot. I'm sorry. He's massive. And Josie the Bruin, scream at me, baby.
Okay. I mean, I guess I
King.
feel like I would be in a polycule with all three of them, but Webster's really annoying. We all kind of can't stand him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And-
He's got 8 arms.
and-
so I'm going to go ahead and be fucked by that spider.
No, no,
Okay,
no.
I'm sorry. Webster.
I feel like he's got 8 arms, but
voted
he's like
for Trump.
Webster voted for Trump.
John voted for Trump.
No,
Webster-
John said votes don't matter.
Let's be really clear. Webster does not have the ability to vote
Anymore.
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 After what he did.
And Josie really was like, I was excited about Tim Waltz.
Oh yeah, Josie was like in these streets.
Yeah,
like,
Josie's
knocking
door
on
knocking.
And
doors.
she's wearing that slutty little dress.
Why
skirt thing.
titties, hips, bell bottoms? Like why can't
Well,
we
that's why
get- I
she's my
wanna
primary
see-
partner.
That's why
I want to see
her
some legs. I want to see those
No.
gams.
That's
I
why
like-
I want her to scream at me.
I want Josie to top me.
Oh,
my
god.
God.
Why not?
Why yes?
Why yes?
Why? Yes.
Bear,
Yes.
bear down.
You guys, that's my favorite game of Kiss Whisper Scream we have played.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good.
And now we have just a quick minute for
Mailbag!
It's time for Mailbag. Let's hear that theme.
He's sleeping.
He's in a
told us
different
he doesn't
show.
really wake up till 3
I'm not
p.m.
really. You guys, our energy has never been
More off,
Yeah.
more off right
This-
now.
I love this. We gotta do this.
No, morning is great because I feel like
We want to hear from you. Okay. So call our line. 567 231 5928. Wait, what? 567 231 5928. Let's never regret calling lesbian ones. Jocks will always talk.
crush,
Thanks, guys.
crush,
Gosh.
crush.
Here's that first voicemail.
Hello, Jocks. Sorry about the job, Harry. So I actually am coming at you with some more Richmond Spider lore.
Wow.
First of all, shout out Webster. Secondly, Roll Spide. I graduated from U of R, a few years ago. We won't say how long. But the funny thing about the Richmond Spiders, besides the fact that the mascot makes no sense, if you look at the official college logo, like if you look up U of R, it's not even actually a spider on it. It's a tick. And you can tell because of the way there's no snatched little waist on the bird. There's only I guess 8 legs, but it's a tick. It's not a spider. I think that there was some kind of copyright issue, but that is the lore. All right. Thank you for the live coverage and for the Richmond spotlight. I just left the Richmond Spider voicemail, but my name is Olivia, she, her. I live in Richmond, Virginia. Shout out my girlfriend, Liz. Bye, guys.
Shout out Liz.
Shout out Liz. Oh my gosh, I'm looking at it now. You're absolutely right.
Well, the thing about that is ticks are known for sucking that blood. And so I'm going to keep my answer. I'm getting absolutely fucking tag teamed by that dog and
No,
that
I'm
tick.
gonna. I'm
really
just
know
gonna
why
I'm gonna
we're
break up with
talking like this.
Webster.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna break up with
I
Webster.
know,
because some
Webster-
ticks make you not like red meat, and I can't even. I can't
And
even
give
risk
you
it.
do they give you
Lyme disease. There's a tick that makes you not like. It makes you allergic to steak.
I don't eat red meat.
I love steak.
I love steak.
So that's fine with me, Webster.
But thank you, Olivia.
Thanks for the
Also, I
voicemail.
love Roll Spide.
Roll
That's
Spide.
that's
Roll.
hilarious.
Roll Spide is
Roll Spide is
unbelievable.
outrageous.
That, made me a big fan, I think.
I know.
Yeah,
I want to
unfortunately,
say
yeah.
Roll Spide.
I'm changing
Roll
my bracket.
Spide.
I know that they lost and I'm changing my bracket. They're taking it off.
I'm looking at it. It is a tick. There's no snatched little waist, like you said.
I love that you said that about spiders. That is so true. I've never
do
thought
have
about
a
it that way.
They
yeah,
do have
they
a
do.
snatch.
It's really nice
They
looking,
love
actually.
wearing like a belt around their waist, like it's 2010.
Not like they even need it. You know what I mean?
They don't.
Damn.
They don't.
Wow.
Fine ass ladies.
All right. Well, thank you for listening.
Okay, wait, you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube at Jocular Pod. Thank you always to our producer Charlie and our producer Harry, who we love very much, even though we're mean to him. You can also leave comments on Spotify or discuss the show on Patreon.com/Jocular. And this week, we want to shout out one of our very special subscribers at the $25 level,
Jillian!
She, her, from the Pacific Northwest. Jillian says, I don't care about a shout out. Really just want to help keep the lights on. I hope enough people help out.
Smiley face.
And guess what? You got a shout out anyway.
Yeah, Jillian, you're the best.
Thank
and
you.
I will say, giving us your region instead of the city, fuck yes.
I like
you
that.
were from the Pacific Northwest. I'm from Appalachia.
Yeah.
Bitch, give me a region.
I do
Because
like
that tells me
Yeah,
so
yeah,
much
yeah.
about you.
Yes.
I love a city too. I mean, hello, we had Knoxville last week. But
PNW
I'm loving
Pride,
PNW.
though.
PNW, it's also
Pride.
beautiful up there.
Yeah.
Yes,
My God,
so
heaven
gorgeous.
on earth.
So thank you so much, Jillian. This means the world to
Yeah,
us.
thank you so
It's
much.
really nice. We appreciate it. Also, this week on Patreon, it's no, I guess next week on Patreon, we're dropping the cooking episode we did, where we all talk about it.
I was not in a good place when we recorded that, guys. So
That's okay. You were just
You're-
ordering from all of us.
You
Yeah.
were ordering.
You were ordering.
Yeah, we had to talk about cooking, and I just kind of ordered from everybody.
So now we have to make them a bunch of food. I
Yeah,
guess?
and then I kind of talked about my own inability to eat on a regular schedule because of how busy it's kind of If you want to learn about what a fucking nightmare I am, I think you'll really like this episode.
That drops on Tuesday, so enjoy that.
But if you can't support the show financially, you can still help us by just telling someone. Tell a friend.
Please.
Tell a lover. Post about it. Send a link. I feel like we just need more people to, if you love Jocular, I'm sure you know someone else who would love Jocular too.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And
For
if
sure.
every listener got just one friend to listen, 1 billion people would listen.
Is that in the copy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it is.
All right. Good.
Yeah,
Good. Good.
we
Yeah,
know there
yeah.
are more jockstraps out there in this world, and we'd love to find all billion of them and make them gayer.
All billion.
All billion.
I think there are 1 billion jockstraps. Call me crazy.
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 Yes!
They
Join
say
us
a
on
new
Patreon.
jock strap is born every minute.
Oh, that's really
beautiful.
beautiful.
You guys join us on Patreon for free. Join our community of jockstraps.
You can email us at jocularpod@gmail.com or give us a little ringy ding ding at 567-231-5928 because we love hearing your voices.
Let's never regret calling lesbian ones. Jocks will always talk.
Please rate and review us, but only 5 stars. And if we like it, we'll read it on air.
Call me. Bye, everybody.
Bye. We love you.
Okay, bye.